Hi. I'm so glad you're here to practice with me. I hope you're having a wonderful morning so far, and with any luck, together, we will have an even better afternoon. So you are here for a sweaty practice, I hope, because that's what I'm here to lead you in. But you already know what I'm going to say. You are in charge of what you do. And so if you are feeling sore from the last few days, if you're feeling particularly tired, or if anything that we do together is just like outside of your comfort zone for today, and I'm talking like way outside your comfort zone, then skip it, right? And there's a time and a place for challenging yourself, and there's a time and a place for embracing discomfort, and then there's a time and a place for saying, nope, not for me, not today. So always know that is both your responsibility and your right on a yoga mat and in any class. And let's be real, in life, that your responsibility and your right is to say yes or no to what to things that are life-giving to you and that will lead you to greater levels of potential, greater levels of strength, or say no to things that are just not right for you right now. With that in mind, get comfortable however you want to get comfortable. You can get comfortable on your mat, anything you want. Have a seat, stand, you can sit, whatever the case may be. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and I really like listening to like podcasts with people that talk about like neurobiology and motivation and research on how to calm yourself, how to mitigate stress, breath, stuff like that. And I like sharing what I learn with you. And one thing that this Andrew Huberman, the researcher who was sharing about this, he didn't do this study, but he was citing a study that occurred back in like the 70s or 80s, okay? So like back when it was like the Wild West and you could do any research on any humans. And what they did was, what the researchers did was they hooked people up to those little, diodes. I don't know what they're called. And they would stimulate portions of the brain that would then result in an emotional response, okay? So usually we feel something from our external environment and then we have an emotional reaction to it based on what occurred, but they were just skipping the environment entirely, and they were stimulating portions of the brain that would result in someone just laughing hysterically or spontaneously erupting into crying and feeling very sad, or would instantly make somebody feel enraged. And what was interesting, what they found, is that the subject preferred. They would afterward they would survey the subject, and the subject's favorite emotion to feel was mild frustration and anger. Mild frustration and anger. What? That makes no sense. Or does it? If you think about it, there is not if you think about it, but researchers later found that there is a dopamine link between mild frustration and anger and my body secreting dopamine, so some feel-good hormones that cause me to keep working at it. And the reason that's important and the reason that's amazing is because it means that we are wired to move toward that which challenges us a little bit. Not a lot, right? We're wired to move away from things that are dangerous or scary or things that will break us, but things that are a little bit perplexing, things that are a little bothersome, things that are a little puzzling to us, yes, we want to move toward. And if you think about from a survival perspective, that makes perfect sense too, because we're wired to find the better hunting grounds. We're wired to find the best trees that have the best fruit. We're wired to find the best places to find fish. And can you imagine how different how different humans would be, how different our civilization would be if we just settled for enough? And can you imagine how different you would be if you just settled for enough? And if just surviving and just having enough food to eat to get by was enough for you. Because I may not have met you, but I can tell you that you probably are inspired a little bit by a little extra challenge. It depends on the day, I bet. It depends on the day for me. It also depends on the challenge. It depends on how I'm feeling. But that's an interesting thing to learn about yourself and an interesting thing to know about humans in general. And when you think about it and when you learn that, it makes me really grateful for that feature of our brain, that feature of our neuroscience, that we're wired to move toward things that are a little perplexing, things that are a little bit challenging and mildly frustrating. And so I invite you to embrace mild frustration today, whatever that looks like for you. Perhaps it's leaning into the discomfort. Perhaps it's saying yes or saying no to something that you used to say no or say yes to. And so I'm glad you're here. Welcome. With that, go ahead and lay down on your backs on your yoga mat. Have your hands on your belly. And just for a moment, find some stillness. Not for a long time, just for a few breaths. See if you can only move the muscles that have to do with your breath. And even those, try to just be so passive and relaxed about it. Start from a place of stillness, a place of quiet, a place of peace. And in this place of stillness, we create a transition. And this transition is from whatever we were up to before our practice. And the transition is into the time and place of your yoga practice. Transitions like this are so important, even and especially when you are practicing from home. Take a moment to be all here, be all now. Being all here means bringing your awareness and your attention to the sensations going on around your body, the sights, the smells, the sounds, the feelings. And being all now means bringing your thoughts, your awareness, your ability to cast yourself into the future or cast yourself into the past, bringing that into the now, into the present. One of the things that makes humans incredible is that we can plan. We can think about the future. And we can also remember. We can think about the past and we can learn from our experiences. But given those skills, given those incredible abilities, we also sometimes forget to live in this present moment, which is, in fact, the only moment in which you are actually alive. You're not alive in the past anymore. You're not alive in the future. You're alive now. And we can acknowledge it and we can celebrate that reality by moving, by paying attention. On the next inhale, sweep the arms overhead toward the wall behind you. Point the toes toward the front. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, hug the knees to the chest. Start to roll up and down the length of the spine, up to the neck, down to the tailbone. Get some momentum going. And then when you're ready, cross over the ankles, take it up to tabletop, right into a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhale as you lengthen the sternum forward. Exhale as you round the spine. Tuck the chin to the chest. Forward, backward flexion of the spine on your own time, on your own pace. And also come back to a neutral spine, and then when you're ready, start to lean to the right, lean to the left. So just allow your hips, your shoulders, your side waist to take on this almost snake-like movement here, right to left. Anything that's going on in the side body, side to side, the outer hips, even the inner thighs here, take any movements, any little leans or holds that feel really nice for you today. Now come back to a neutral spine. We're going to take it through a couple little rotations here. Inhale, reach the right fingertips up toward the sky. Your gaze goes up too. Exhale, back to tabletop. Other side, inhale, reach the left fingertips up. Gaze goes up. Exhale, back to tabletop. On your own time, on your own pace. Do 2 more times each side. Exhale to tabletop. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale. Settle it back to child's pose with the knees together. So you're supporting your low back. And reach the arms forward in child's pose. And now from this child's pose, I want you to think of your spine like a rolling wave, all right? And so we're going to take it through kind of a cat-cow sort of movement, but we're starting in this child's pose because I want you to really exaggerate both the rounded shape of the spine and also some forward-backward rolling movement. So it's going to go a little like this. On the inhale, lift into that rounded shape as you sweep your body weight forward towards your wrists. Tuck your chin to your chest. And now start to unwind and reverse that movement as you roll it back toward child's pose. Gaze goes up. Let's try this again. So starting from child's pose, inhale as you tuck the chin to the chest, rounding the spine, shifting the body weight forward, going to the extent of your range of motion on your wrists. And now reverse it. Tuck the tailbone toward the sky. Relax the belly toward the earth. Gaze goes up as you sweep your body weight back onto the knees, the shins. All right, we're going to take it through a few more rounds of this on your own time. So inhale for the rounded shape as you shift your body weight forward. Exhale to take it back into the back bend. Explore full range of motion here. Don't forget your neck. All right, now after you've done this a few times, rounding on the way forward, back bend on the way back. Let's do a couple more and then take it back to child's pose. All right, so what I want you to do next is we're going to round on the way forward and take it into a high cobra. So basically a back bend that you've probably done before. On the inhale, take it forward into this rounded shape, and then as you unfurl into a back bend, your knees are on the earth, gaze goes up, press the sternum forward, and now again, like a wave, start with the tailbone, draw the tailbone back toward the feet, back to child's pose. Inhale, rounding the spine as you shift your body weight forward, tucking the chin to the chest, and unfurl into the back bend. Gaze goes up. Exhale, tailbone leads you toward child's pose. Inhale, forward and into the back bend. Exhale, take it back to child's pose. One more. Inhale, rock it forward. Unfurl that back bend at the last moment. Gaze goes up. Exhale, tailbone leads you back into child's pose. All right, take a moment here in child's pose just for a few breaths. Slow it down. Totally relax into the earth. Relax the wrists, relax the fingers, relax the ankles, the toes. Relax the jaw, the neck. All those spaces between the vertebrae that you just warmed up and woke up. Relax the elbows, the shoulders, the hips. Child's pose. Curl the toes under, press the palms into the earth, straighten the elbows. And on the exhale, straighten the legs, lift the hips, take it back to downward facing dog. So pedal the feet, right, left, pressing one heel, then the other, as you do. While you're looking at your feet here, let's warm up our feet with all the same loving intention that we just warmed up our spine. So pick your heels up off the earth until you're on the balls of your feet, just the tippy toes, balls of the feet. And now exhale, press the heels back down toward the earth. Let's take it forward, backward with our breath a couple more times. Inhale, pick the heels up off the earth. You might even take a little knee bend if that feels nice to turn that toe bend into a more extreme point. Exhale, back to the heels toward the earth, back to downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale into the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Glance up at your hands and walk your feet forward to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Soft bend in the knees as you inhale. Sweep the arms up overhead. Come up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to take it through a couple half sun salutations here at the top of the mat. Soft bend in the knees as we move. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Keep that soft knee bend. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Two more half sun salutations. Inhale, arms overhead. Soft bend in the knees as you fold over the legs. We're keeping the soft bend in the knees so that it's not all about the hamstrings here in the beginning, or at least it's not about stretching. It's about warming them. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand, sweep the arms. Now you can straighten the legs. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more half sun salutation. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the crown of the head forward. Exhale, fold over the legs. This time we're going to hang out here. So you've got this bend in the knees. You're relaxing your upper body down onto the earth. And now kind of like in child's pose where you can just relax and let your body be supported. Just let your upper body hang on the thighs here, on the knees. And then maybe try trailing your hands around on your feet. So just kind of exploring some rotation here. Relax your head, relax your neck, maybe close your eyes, nod your head yes, shake your head no. And if it's starting to feel really good, you might try using the floor to walk your hands into greater and greater levels of rotation, only if that feels nice. It's kind of a nice little organic twist here, getting into the IT bands. All right, come back to center. Bring your hands to your shins. Halfway lift. This time, straighten the legs. So make a 90-degree angle with your body. So flat back, straight legs if you can. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. get into our shoulders. Inhale, arms overhead. Cactus arms on the exhale. Bend the elbows. Squeeze the shoulder blades together behind the back. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step it back to plank. Pause here in a high plank for a moment. So get nice and comfortable with your shoulders over your wrists. Spread the fingers nice and wide. And rather than relaxing into the plank, I want you to find that lift between the shoulder blades. So nice and strong through the shoulder joint. Heels pointing toward the back of the room, crown of the head forward. Soft tuck under with the belly with the tailbone to activate the low belly. Take an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank last time. Reverse push-up on the exhale. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders coming into Sphinx Pose. Nice little back bend for the upper back. Since we spent all that time waking up the upper back, we're probably already feeling nice and warm, getting some range of motion there between the shoulder blades. That's going to come in handy later. All right, so in Sphinx Pose, just for a moment, this is subtle. I want you to think about tucking the tailbone under, kind of like when we were in plank pose, just to activate the low belly, and keeping that tuck under with the tailbone. So we're active with the hips, the glutes. Bring the hands beneath the shoulders, and now press the arms straight. Now, when you have your thighs on the earth, this is a high cobra. When you have your thighs lifted off the earth, it's upward facing dog. I know it might be splitting hairs, but one of them is a lot more active of a back bend than the other. I wouldn't say that either one of them is wrong, as long as you are not just dumping the back bend into the low back. So maintain this slight tuck under with the tailbone so that you can keep your abdominals from just relaxing into this back bend, right? So we maintain tension even in the midst of a back bend. All right, press the palms of feet into the earth. Lift it back to downward facing dog. 2 long, slow breaths. Glance up at the hands, walk, step, or float your feet to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. All right, pick up your right foot and step it back behind your left foot, only about a foot's distance apart. We're going to do some warming for the low back and for the hamstrings, and it's going to feel kind of like a body weight repetition sort of class. All right, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips. Pause at the midline. So when your spine gets parallel with the earth, here I'm going to back up so I don't hit my plant. Inhale, come back up to standing. Keep the legs straight, gripping into the earth with your feet. Exhale, hinging forward. Think of this like a good morning if you've ever done weight training. Inhale, back to standing. Exhale, lower the upper body until you're in line with the hips. Inhale, bring it back up, really gripping into the earth with the feet. Exhale, back down. Inhale, come back to standing. And exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Switch legs. Step it forward, step it back. Same distance between your 2 feet. Both legs are straight, grounded into the earth. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, reaching the upper body forward till it's parallel with the floor. Inhale, back up to standing. See if you can maintain even body weight between front foot, back foot. In, exhale, forward over the legs. Inhale, back up to standing. Maintain tension. Remember, low belly tension. We're not just relaxing into the abdominals. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Shoulders are square with the earth. Inhale, back to standing. Exhale, hinge forward last time. Inhale, back up to standing. And exhale, release the arms. Nice job. Bring it back forward to the top of your mat if you wandered. Nice. We're getting nice and warm in the hamstrings here. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step it back to plank. Take it through a flow. Your choice. You could do chaturanga up dog. You could lower to the earth and take higher low cobra. It is up to you. 2 breaths in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg, lead with the heel. Exhale, step it through next to the right thumb. Crescent lunge on the inhale. Rise, find your balance. Warrior 2 on the exhale. We're going to hang out here for a couple breaths and really get comfortable with that right inner thigh. If you don't feel it in the right inner thigh, then engage the outer hip to pull the knee over the midline of the foot. You'll probably start to feel it then. Flip the right palm up. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior gaze goes up. Nice long side stretch. Remember, it's your first reverse warrior, so go easy on yourself. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, circle the hands to the earth. Step it back to plank. Take it through a flow. Remember, you always have the option to skip the flow, or you have the option to dial it up a little bit and add some push-ups. Add some little fun extras to it. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through. Crescent lunge on the inhale. Find your breath. Find your balance. Exhale, warrior 2. Back leg is straight, grounded into the earth. Hang out here for a breath. Flip the left palm up. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior gaze goes up. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Exhale, circle the hands, step it back to plank, take it through a flow. All right, we're going to play with some handstand kicks today, so go ahead and lower your knees to the earth for a moment just to give your shoulders a little bit of a break while I talk to you. You can hang out here as long as you want, if you want to just watch what I'm doing as I demonstrate it, or if you're feeling pretty good about your handstand kicks and you want to go ahead and get started with building that shoulder burn, then let's go ahead and get there. So with a handstand kick, you don't have to be able to do a handstand in order to do handstand kick-ups. That's the idea behind it. It's a kick-up. It doesn't mean you can hold a handstand in the middle of the middle of the room. I honestly can't even do that yet. But I can do a handstand kick-up, and I can show you how. So you've got your hands shoulder width apart. You're taking it back to downward facing dog. The first step is to glance up at that space between your hands. That's where your gaze is going, because that's where your balance is going to go. Lift whichever leg you feel a little bit more comfortable with, and then bend the opposite, and then just do a little 3-inch hop. It doesn't have to even really look like a handstand. A couple little 3-inch hops, couple more little 3-inch hops. Now switch to the other side because we're all about balance. 1, 2, 3. Okay, awesome. You can come out of it. We'll work on perhaps building a little bit more height later, but you don't have to be able to kick up into a handstand to try those handstand hops and to start to build strength in your wrists, in your hands, your elbows, your shoulders here. All right, back to downward facing dog. Glance up at the hands, walk, step or float your feet, top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. All right, since we're getting into our shoulders, step your hands or your feet about a leg distance apart. I've got about 3.5, 4 feet between my feet. So a wide leg fold that we're about to do. Interlace the hands behind the back. Take an inhale. Roll the shoulder blades together. Exhale, fold forward and down over the legs. Focus on the exhales. Focus on down regulating when you have the chance to. And if it feels nice for you, maybe try exploring a little bit of side-to-side movement here. If your shoulders have an equal amount of flexibility, you can kind of explore right to left, a little bit of twisting in the upper back. Just let gravity pull the hands, the shoulders toward the earth. All right, bring the hands back to the low back, unclasp them. back up to standing. Try not to get lightheaded. All right, from the top of the mat, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step it back to plank, take it through a flow. Inhale, lift the right leg, lead with the heel. Exhale, knee to nose, bring the shoulders over the wrist, find that lift between the shoulder blades. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, knee to elbow. Can you make contact between your knee and your elbow? Inhale, lift the right leg again. Lots of core control. Exhale, across the body. Again, can you make contact? Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it through next to the right thumb. All right, nice job. Lower the back knee to the earth. We're going to take a little bit of a break. Front knee over the front ankle. Exhale, roll that right leg towards straight. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, roll it towards straight. So because we're building up some tension and we're building up some heat, it becomes even more important to blow off that steam with nice long exhales. When you make complete exhales, you create space for long, slow, controlled breaths on the inhales, which creates a feedback loop of down-regulating the breath and helps you recover. All right, bring the front knee back over the front ankle. Curl the back toes under, crescent lunge on the inhale. On the exhale, sweep the right arm under left. So let's go into eagle arms here in crescent lunge. Find your balance. Breathe. Feel that space between the shoulder blades. Stretch the backs of the shoulders. We're not going to go any further than this. On the next inhale, unwind, arms overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Flip the right palm up. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior. Feel that stretch down the left inner thigh. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, circle the hands. Nice long circle. Step it back to plank. Take it through a flow. Inhale, lift the left leg, lead with the heel. Exhale, knee to nose, tuck the chin to the chest, find that stretch between the shoulder blades. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, knee to elbow, shoulders over wrist. Shift the body weight forward. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, knee to opposite elbow. Find that lift. Really press into the earth with the back foot. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through. Nice job. Lower the back knee to the earth. Take an inhale. Exhale into the hamstring. Inhale. Exhale. Take it forward, backward with your breath. Find those places in your breath and also those places in your legs, your hips, that could use a little extra love, a little extra attention, and move particularly slowly through that point. All right, on the next inhale, bring the front knee back over the front ankle, curl the back toes under, crescent lunge. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, sweep the arm under. So you're crossing elbows, crossing wrists. If you can, wrap your elbows around one another, your forearms around one another, and go until your palms face each other. So this is called eagle arms. We will come back to this later on. I think on the other side I said that's as far as we're going to go. It's like That's because there's another sequence later on with these arms, but we're just dabbling, dipping our toe into it at this point. Inhale, arms overhead again. Exhale, warrior two. Find that nice even stance, front foot to back foot, front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Flip the left palm up, inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior, gaze goes up. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, long and controlled circle with the right hand as you step it back to plank. Take it through a flow. Remember the handstand kick ups? If you're feeling it, go ahead and get just a couple more, maybe 3 more. And then switch to the other side. Try to even it out. You know, handstands are one of those things. Handstands are one of those things that you get better at every time you practice. You get better at with practice. Meaning, if you spent a week saying, I'm going to get good at handstands, and you practiced your handstand kick-ups, and you practice them against a wall, and you practice them with a spotter, I guarantee you will get better at it. And it's possible that you might be able to master kicking up into a handstand in the middle of the room because it's what's called a neuromuscular skill, meaning your brain, your joints, your muscles, your coordination, your balance gets better and learns with every single repetition. So I hope that's encouraging to you. Okay, back to downward facing dog. Glance up at the hands, walk, step, or float your feet top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, we're going to take another kind of variation of that. It was kind of like a good morning stretch that we did as we were warming up, and as one foot was in front of the other. This time, interlace the hands behind the back, roll the shoulder blades together, and just kind of nestle the arms straight down the midline along the spine. So take an inhale, have both legs straight. Exhale, hinge forward over that front leg, pausing when the upper body is parallel with the floor. Inhale, back up to standing. Exhale, hinge forward. Gaze goes down. Grip into the earth with the toes, so really active with the feet. Exhale. Inhale. Last time, exhale. And now we're going to stay here for the inhale. Unclasp the hands as you reach both arms forward. Kind of changes the sensation and the body weight on the feet. Inhale, back up to standing. Very nice. Switch sides. Step it forward, step it back. I've got my right leg forward. For this, we're just doing one side then the other, and so I'm not going to get wrapped up into which leg you have forward. It's not a big deal at this moment. Interlace the hands behind the back. And you know what? Just for fun, interlace your hands the weird way, because there's a good chance you interlaced your hands in a way that was comfortable for you with one of your thumbs in front. Now try the other way, if you can. It's kind of strange too. Take an inhale. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Keep both legs straight as you move. This is about activating and actively stretching the hamstrings. Exhale. Inhale, back up to standing. Move with your breath. Exhale. Inhale, back up to standing. Last time on the exhale, hinge forward. Stay for the complete exhale. And when you're ready to inhale, unclasp the hands, sweep them forward, activate the core. You've got your elbows straight, your palms facing each other. Your shoulders are in line with your ears. Inhale, back up to standing. Very nice. Back to the top of the mat. We're going to do a balancing pose called Eagle Pose. We already kind of practiced this with the eagle arms, so twisting the elbows and the forearms around each other. And that is how it begins when it becomes a balancing pose. So here at the top of the mat, I am going to tell you which arm to put beneath the other because that matters for the rest of our movements here. So inhale, bring the arms overhead, and on the exhale, sweep the right arm under the left. Okay, so sweep the right arm under the left. And so cross the elbows, try to cross the forearms, and bring the wrists, or across the wrists, and bring the palms to touching in front of the face. If this is inaccessible for you, just grab opposite shoulders, or maybe you touch the backs of the hands together, all right? You can find a point along the road that is this stretch at any point in your fitness journey. You don't have to be like Gumby to be able to do this pose. All right, take an inhale, and on the exhale, take a small little sit down, like a little quarter squat, and now you're going to shift your body weight to your left foot, Pick up the right leg and cross the right leg over the left, all right? And so the way you'll know if you've done the correct arms and legs is if you can tap your knee to your elbow. That should be the same side, okay? So you're tapping the same side knee to elbow in Eagle Pose. And by the way, while we're tapping knee to elbow, that's actually a great way to check and make sure that your knees, elbows, wrists, and ankles are all in one line down the front of your body. Eagle Pose. So you're twisting and wrapping your arms and your legs like a rope. You're also balancing. You're also focusing on one point. You're also breathing. On the next inhale, unwind the arms and the legs. Sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, other side. Sweep the left arm under the right now. So you're doing the opposite side. Left arm under right. Pause for a moment here just to get nice and comfortable in your arms. And now when you're ready, take a soft little quarter sit into this quarter squat. Shift your body weight to your right leg. Pick up the left leg nice and high. Wrap it around the right standing leg. If you can wrap it all the way until your toes wrap behind your calf muscle, then congratulations, you found a little hook for your foot. You found a hook for that left foot. So take a quick check, elbow to knee. Can you tap your elbow to knee? Wrists, elbows, knees, ankles in one line down the front of the body. Can you sit down a little bit lower? Can you rock your body weight back into the heel while still gripping all 5 toes into the earth? Remember to breathe. Maybe you can even smile. On the next inhale, unwind arms, legs, everything. Exhale, everything down. Just stand here for a moment. Find some stillness. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Just walk it back to downward facing dog for a moment. After Eagle Pose, downward facing dog can feel a little bit like a stretch, to be honest, because it brings everything back into alignment. It's like a resting pose after Eagle. Just hang out in this nice, strong, stable downward facing dog. If you're still feeling kind of energetic, you might throw in some handstand kicks here. 2 on the right, 2 on the left. Why not? If you're feeling really comfortable with your handstand kicks, something that you might try next is, can you switch feet in the air, right? Can you kick up with one foot and then come down with the other one? Can you get a little hang time in the air? As long as you're not kicking a piece of furniture or hurting yourself by falling over, you can really do anything you want in handstand practice. That's always fun. All right, let's bring it back up to standing because I've got more plans for that Eagle Pose. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, back to heart center. All right. So we're going to take that Eagle Pose. We're going to practice it again. We're going to work into it the way that we did a couple moments ago and kind of maybe see if we can find some more depth or perhaps even a little more greater level of comfort with this pose. And then we're going to incorporate it into a standing warrior 3, a crescent lunge, and then a flow sequence. It's going to be fun. But it starts with the arms. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, sweep the right arm under the left. Might feel a little bit more space there between your shoulders, in the space between your shoulder blades. Take an inhale. Exhale, sit down low. Pick up the right leg, lift it high, and wrap it around the left standing leg. Find that eagle pose. Again, if you want to check, elbow to knee, wrist, elbows, knees, ankles. If it is uncomfortable for your knee to take a wrap or to try to get that really deep cross-legged wrap, you can take a standing figure 4. That's also a nice balancing pose, also a nice challenge for the hip, but maybe not so much about if it feels like it puts stress on the knee. That might be a good modification. Okay, from eagle pose, try to keep the arms the way they are. And with balance and control, can you come up to a standing position with the right knee in line with the hip? Straighten up the left leg if it's not already straight. So your standing leg is straight. And now, can you make a floating transition from this standing pose into warrior 3 with your arms still in that eagle arms locked position? Remember to focus and breathe. The standing leg is straight, hips are level with the earth, shoulders are level with the earth. Now from warrior 3, take an inhale. And on the exhale with control, can you float your back toes down onto the earth, coming into crescent lunge, keeping the eagle arms, that wrap with the elbows and the wrists. Feel that balance in your body as you move. Trust yourself. All right, now you can unwind the arms. Inhale. Very nice. Exhale, warrior 2. Flip the left palm up. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior, gaze goes up. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Exhale, big long circle down to the earth. Take it back to plank. Follow your breath. Glance up at your hands, walk, step, or float your feet to the top of the mat, forward fold. This starts at the top of the mat. Inhale, arms, or come up to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, so that same sequence that we just did on the right, we're now going to do on the left. Here we go. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, swing the left arm under right this time. Cross the elbows, cross the wrists. So just a quick piece of advice. Sometimes it's easy to get wrapped up, especially when you're working on the second side sequence. It's easy to get wrapped up in thinking, okay, what's next? How long do I have to be in this pose until I can get past the next pose? And if I can survive until this one pose, then I'll be okay. Or I wish we could just really skip that one pose. And it's totally taking you out of the reality that there's really just one pose in front of you, and it's the one that you're in. So relax. Stop thinking about what is coming up next. Just do the work that's in front of you. Take an inhale. Sit down low. Pick up the left leg. Pick it up high. Wrap it around your standing leg. Be all here. Eagle pose. Find your balance. As long as you can breathe, generally speaking, you're doing just fine. Grip into the earth. Now we're going to take that floating transition into warrior 3. So come on up to standing at the pace of your balance. You can do this as slowly or as quickly as you want to. Your right leg is straight. Your knee is straight. Your hips, your shoulders level with the earth. Now can you transition into a standing warrior three? So your left foot is flexed and pressing toward the back wall behind you. Your arms are still in this eagle pose, this wrapped eagle arms. Both legs are straight, hips, shoulders square with the earth. Warrior three, remember to breathe. Take an inhale. And bend the standing leg. Float your back foot back to crescent lunge. Very nice. Once you've established your balance, inhale, arms overhead. Warrior two, exhale. Flip the right palm up, inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior gaze goes up. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, big circle to the earth. Step it back to plank and take it through a flow, or just hang out in downward facing dog for a few breaths, or hang out in child's pose for a few breaths. Focus on the exhales. To kind of unwind all that shoulder work we just did, I'm going to come to a kneeling position. If this is comfortable for you, go ahead and take a kneeling position, or you can do this standing, or you could do this seated. This is really just about the shoulders. Interlace the fingers behind the head, and then check in with your posture, your spine here real quick. Anytime we put our hands behind our head, it can be tempting to create this forward head positioning so that we can get our elbows nice and wide. Keep the skull in line with the spine. Don't get too worried about how wide your elbows go. Now with your fingers interlaced behind your head, widen up the elbows to get a nice open twist through the shoulders. And maybe even lean your head back into your hands. Keep the elbows nice and wide. Bring it back to center. And release the hands into your lap, palms up. Or you could come to standing mountain pose. All right, any way that's comfortable for you, come on down to the mat, have a seat, bring the legs around in front of you. And we're going to close it out with our hamstrings plus a little back bend. So have the right leg straight, left is bent. And on the inhale, reach the arms overhead. Square the shoulders over the right leg. And on the exhale, hinge forward and down over that right leg. Reach for the foot, the ankle, the pant leg, whatever you can reach. Find length from the tailbone through the crown of the head. Now come on back to seated. And take your left hand, bring it around behind you. Press your left hand into the earth as you pick your hips and your shoulders off the mat. Reach the right fingertips toward the sky and take it back to a nice little back bend. Back bend / side bend. Drop your head back. Relax your neck. Try to look at the wall behind you. Oh, make your way back to seated whenever you are ready. Let's do the other side. Have the left leg straight, right is bent. Inhale, arms overhead, square the shoulders over the left leg. Exhale, hinge forward and down over the left leg. Come on back to seated, and we're going to do that same little back side stretch. So take the right hand, plant it behind your tailbone, reach the left fingertips up toward the sky, and relax your upper back, your head, your neck, your right arm into a nice side stretch back bend for this side. And slowly make your way back out of it. Lie down on your back, hug your knees to your chest. Gently roll side to side. And then bring your feet into happy baby. So pull the knees nice and wide. Grab hold of the outsides of the feet. And gently rock side to side. And slowly lay down on your back. Come into a pose of stillness, whatever that looks like for you, just for a moment. Take a body scan. Notice your feet, your ankles, your knees, your hips, your belly, your rib cage, your chest, your shoulders, your upper arms, your wrists, your elbows, your fingers, your palms, your neck, the base of your skull, your scalp, the crown of your head, your face, your ears. And just notice any sensations that come up. Most of all, notice and appreciate the ability that you have to move, to breathe, to discover more. Now find a pose that is comfortable for you, whatever that looks like, and move into your final resting pose, Savasana. Slowly begin to reawaken the body. Wiggle the fingers, the toes, roll out the wrists, the ankles. Reach the arms overhead. Point the toes toward the front. Take a deep breath and a full body stretch from fingers to toes and everything in between. And on the exhale, roll over to the right side. Make your way back up to a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like to you. Lightly rest your hands on your knees. Close your eyes when you get there. Pay attention to the stillness. On the next inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice. Have a beautiful day. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.